Now we're getting serious. We're going to move into your first medication problems. The process is identical to what you just practiced. What changes are the units. Now we're in milligrams, grams, tablets, milliliters, those types of things. But the train track works exactly the same way. So let's start with your first problem. One step, same unit, different amounts. So we're going to look at tablets. Now here's the clinical scenario. The healthcare provider orders metoprolol 100 milligrams by mouth. Now, it's available on the medication cart as metoprolol 50 milligram tablets. How many tablets do you give? Now, before you calculate, does this seem like a reasonable number of tablets? Keep that question in mind when you're at the end. That is the key to patient safety. After you do all the math, you always want to ask yourself, does this seem reasonable and safe? So, step one, what is ordered? Well, what was ordered is 100 milligrams. That's the ordered dose. This is your starting point. Step two, what do you want? Well, this is your answer unit. What I want are tablets. So I would write that right out at the end. Conversion factor. Well, what connects milligrams to tablets? Well, your available medication is one tablet contains 50 milligrams. So write it with tablets on top. Remember, that's your destination unit. And so it's one tablet over 50 milligrams. Now, step five, we got to cancel units. So we know you wanted 100 milligrams over one. We put the tablet on top, the numerator, because that's what we want, over 50 milligrams because we know that equals 1. One tablet is 50 milligrams. So we're multiplying that by a factor of 1 so we can cancel the units. So we're in step five. How are we going to cancel them? Well, you've laid it out beautifully. If this is what you did, you've got milligrams on the top of the first fraction. You've got milligrams on the bottom of the second, so they cancel each other. So now you end up with the question of how many tablets? Well, we've got the remaining unit correctly. So when we did the math, you ended up with 100 over 50, which equals 100 divided by 50 is 2 tablets. Now, does that make sense? Yeah, sure. Giving 2 tablets, that's a reasonable amount of medication to give a patient. But let's do a quick clinical judgment check. In this phase, you're thinking about recognizing cues. Before you give anything to a patient, always ask yourself, like what we just talked through, does 2 tablets seem reasonable for this medication? Sure, it does. So giving 2 tablets of a standard oral medication is a common practice. But what if your answer had been give 10 tablets? Okay, well, that should be a real red flag to you. You need to stop, recheck your calculation, and call the pharmacist. You need to get help on that because you need to figure out what went wrong. See, dimensional analysis gives you the math, but clinical judgment, that's what you're developing, says, does this make sense for this patient? You got to have both of those before you give the medication. Now let's do this second type of medication problem. Now this one's going to be 2 steps. So we're going to have unit conversion plus tablet calculation. See, we're just adding one more train car. But this is where students often get tripped up, but you don't have to. You've already practiced this with the miles to meters problem. It's the same concept, just new units. So if you need to, you can pause and go back and refresh that question, or we can keep moving forward. Now here's a clinical scenario. The healthcare provider orders amoxicillin zero point 0.5 grams by mouth. Now, what we have available is amoxicillin 250 milligram capsules. How many capsules do you give? Notice the order is in grams, the medication is in milligrams. So we're going to need a bridge for that, kind of a conversion factor. So what's ordered is zero point 0.5 grams. That's the ordered dose. What we want is capsules. So the conversion factors we need, first we have to go from grams to milligrams, and then we have milligrams to capsules. That's why you need 2 fractions, 2 train cars. Those are 2 conversions for us. So one when we go in grams to milligrams, we know that there's 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram. And when we're going from milligrams to capsules, we know that 1 capsule equals 250 milligrams. So look how we set it up. We want to give zero point 0.5 grams. We have to do 2 conversions, so we're going to put milligrams on top because what we want to end up with is capsules. So we put 1,000 milligrams over 1 gram because we're going to be able to cancel grams in that and milligrams with the next. Now, you're saying, wait a minute, my head is spinning. Let's stop, pause, and take a breath. What we have here is just the same thing we've done before with miles to kilometers or miles to meters. Here you have zero point 0.5 grams over 1. That's what we have. But we want to know how many capsules to give. And that's why we have capsules at the end that says equal question mark capsules. So now we're going to multiply zero point 0.5 grams times 1. 1,000 milligrams over 1 gram, that's our first conversion. And 1 capsule is 250 milligrams. Both of those equal 1. Now, why? Because there's 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram, and in 1 capsule, there's 250 milligrams. Now, why do we put it in that order? Because we want capsules. So when I put grams on top of the first fraction, look at the next one, I put grams on the bottom. Therefore, milligrams had to go on the top. So for our second conversion factor, I put milligrams on the bottom because capsule is what I'm looking for. So the grams cancel. Top of car 1, bottom of car 2. Milligrams cancels. Top of car 2, bottom of car 3. What we have left are the capsules. So 0 0.5 times 1,000 times 1 equals 500. And we do the bottom, 1 times 250 equals 250. So 500 divided by 250 equals 2 capsules to give us what we wanted. Now, I want you to switch gears a little bit and take a moment to think clinically, not just mathematically. Although I'm very proud of you for what you've done mathematically, you're doing great. But now I want to think clinically. Let's talk about analyzing cues, like that second step in the clinical judgment measurement model. See, zero point 0.5 grams is the same as 500 milligrams. Can you see that now? Great. If the capsule has 250 milligrams and we need 500 milligrams, does 2 capsules make sense? Yes, it does. Good. So, what if a student calculated zero point 0.2 capsules? That would tell you something went wrong. You cannot give zero point 0.2 of a capsule or a tablet. That answer should trigger you to do a recheck. See, training yourself to ask, does this answer make sense? It's not just a safety habit, it's your clinical judgment. I can tell you the worst medication error case I ever worked was a nurse measured out 10 30 milliliter liquid cups of a sedative and gave it to a child. Never crossed her mind to think, that is too much for a pediatric patient. I've never given that much of any medication, even to an adult, in a liquid form. So you have to be able to ask yourself, I want to develop clinical judgment. I want to be safe. Does this make sense for the patient? Now let's talk about weight-based dosing. This is the full chain because weight-based dosing is used frequently in pediatrics. So if you're interested in that, you're going to really love this next section. But it's also used in oncology and in critical care. Now the math looks intimidating at first, but it's not. It's just 3 train cars instead of 2, and you've already done this. So let's take a look at an order. Amoxicillin 25 milligrams per kilogram per day divided into 2 doses for a child. Now, the child weighs 44 pounds. How many milligrams per dose? Now, what are the conversion factors we're going to need? Well, we have pounds, but we're going to need kilograms because it said milligrams per kilogram per day. So I need 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. Now, per day dose, it says 25 milligrams per kilogram per day. But we're going to divide that into 2 doses because we give that over a day. So the amoxicillin, the total amount they want is 25 milligrams per kilogram per day, but give it in 2 doses. And this is not an unusual kind of order. So let's get started. We know they're 44 pounds, so we're going to put that over 1, right? Okay. Now we're going to do the conversion of pounds to kilograms. So we know 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Why did I put the kilogram on the top? Well, here I want to cancel pounds. That's why I put 2.2 pounds on the bottom. Now, the next conversion is 25 milligrams per kilogram per day. And where did I get that? That's from the order. So 25 milligrams per kilogram per day is on the bottom. Lastly, I've got 1 day I'm going to do 2 doses a day. So let's look how they cancel. Pounds cancels. Excellent, because that's not what I want at the end. Remember, I want milligrams per dose. Next, kilograms cancel. There you go. Number 2 to number 3. Excellent. You got it. Now, day cancels. So we are left with the remaining milligrams per dose. So you go across the top, you've got 44 times 1 times 25 times 1 equals 1,100. Now you do the bottom, 1 times 2.2 times 1 times 2 equals 4.4. So that is 1,100 divided by 4.4 should give me 250 milligrams per dose. Now, how's that feeling? Again, we're going to use your clinical judgment. We're talking about prioritizing hypotheses here. This is where your dimensional analysis connects directly to critical thinking. Always ask, is this dose appropriate for the patient's size? Because remember, this is weight-based dosing. A 250 milligram dose for a 44-pound or 20 kilogram child equals 12.5 milligrams per kilogram per dose. Now, that's well within the typical range for amoxicillin. Now, in real practice, you would look that up just to be sure. Now, if you calculated 2,500 milligrams per dose, that would be 10 times the correct dose. A child could be severely harmed, and that is why you check. Now, the moment you get an answer, your clinical judgment turns on. Math gets you to a number, but judgment determines whether that number is safe.